AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Musa. And Mr. Toby Topley. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Could the Saints cut Alvin Kamara? Talk about that in 15 minutes. A guy who knows a lot about Alvin Kamara and all the current goings-on at the University of Tennessee is our buddy Jayson Swain. The Swain event. Swain, what up, man?
My man, what's going on?
Would you be so sad if the Saints cut Alvin Kamara?
No, man, he's had a great career there with the Saints. He's done a lot of great things. I would understand the business side of it. And I know for Alvin, I know how much he loves the Saints organization. He had a chance to go somewhere else, but it's happy there. But I understand the business side of it, but I would be sad for Alvin.
I'd be sad.
But he'd be okay. He's a good player. He's got some years, though.
I'd be sad. I don't want him to go anywhere. I want him to stay.
He's awesome, man. I love him, man. He's genuine. He's one of one. He's a special dude.
Eats Airheads on the sideline, has his own cereal. I mean, I kind of love him.
I got a box here.
Oh, the what's it called? Like Kamara Crunch or something? Is that what it's called? What's it called?
Yeah, let's call it that. That's fine. I haven't opened it. It's a souvenir. I need to get him to sign it.
That's a good idea. Okay, we had you on today because I want to talk about Joey Aguilar. It looked like
great.
He was getting the injunction to return to Tennessee, and then now we see that he's going to attend the NFL Scouting Combine. So fill me in, man. Like, is Aguilar expected to be the Tennessee quarterback next year?
Well, I think going into the preliminary injunction trial Friday, there was a lot of optimism, but after the case, I don't really know which way this thing's going to go. There's people that believe that this thing can go against Joey Aguilar. There's some that still believe it can work for Joey. Of course, the judge is a Tennessee grad, but this is not the same case as Trinidad Chambliss there at Ole Miss. This is completely different. Trinidad Chambliss was arguing that, he should have had a medical redshirt year, and they argued all that stuff, and that judge allowed him to be able to play. This is different, man. This is whether or not a JUCO year should count. And so there's a lot of weight to this decision for the judge because if you rule in favor of Joey, now it opens up Pandora's box for other players who can say, well, my JUCO year shouldn't count either. And so this is a pretty big deal. Even though the judge is a UT grad, I think he understands that. And this thing is not going to be easy layup for Joey Aguilar. So him going to the NFL Combine is the backup plan. They can't move the Combine to accommodate Aguilar, so he's going to go up there for 48 hours, and he's going to do everything that's asked of him. He did have a procedure done in the offseason to remove a tumor in his throwing arm, so he can't really do anything anyways physically up there, but all the other stuff he's going to do, and it's a backup plan for if he is not granted an extra year by the Knox County judge here.
If Diego Pavia got his year because of JUCO, why wouldn't Joey Aguilar?
Well, Diego got that year last year, and that's why Joey was able to play, because of Diego Pavia getting his year. Also, Miles Kitzman, Tennessee's tight end, was able to take advantage of that and get that year last year. So this will be him getting an extra year on top of the extra year he got last year. So, yeah, I mean, there's some folks here that believe, well, if it didn't count last year, then why allow it to count this year? There's all different types of opinions about, Joey Aguilar being able to play, but I mean that's his take here. That's his strategy to say no, JUCO year should not, count. Joey Aguilar redshirted in the City of College of San Francisco in 2019.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't play in 2020 because of COVID. Went to Diablo Valley for 2 years, a junior college, and then Appy State for 2 years, and then Tennessee 1 year. So he's arguing, hey, I want to be able to play 4 years of NCAA football, even though this would mark his 7th year out of high school.
Or would this be 7 or 8? So 19,
I'd be 7.
20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 26 would be his 8th season. That's awesome. Let's go.
Don't you love it?
30-year-olds playing college football. That's what we need. That'd be so good.
Yeah, I know, right?
How's that any different than like minor league baseball where you have 18-year-olds and like Crash Davis? It's like, let's go. Let's create that in college. I mean, you go to your econ class. Swain, they got 80-year-olds in the econ class, right? Just going back to school, trying to get a degree. Why not?
Sorry, high school kids. All that hard work you put in the summer, it's for nothing. You got to go to JUCO.
Yeah, then go JUCO. Go JUCO, go FCS, go G5, and work your way up.
Oh gosh.
You don't like that?
Well, I mean, I'm not in favor of that. I think at some point, you got to move on. I mean,
why?
Matt, I'm pretty sure you wasn't the 23-year-old guy going back to high school trying to hang out at prom. I mean, at some point you got to go. You got to get on somewhere. Now, this is all about money. Let's not be
of course
Jesus here. Joey Aguilar has the opportunity to come back and make $2+ million, which is a steal for Tennessee. Obviously, Tennessee was looking for a quarterback. LSU fans know that because of the Sam Levitt, recruitment. You were not going to get an answer back about Joey Aguilar until after the portal closed. So Tennessee, this was their opportunity to get someone back that understands the offense, that brings experience. Without Joey Aguilar coming back, you're looking at a situation where Tennessee's going to play either a redshirt freshman or a true freshman. So this is best for both sides. Joey Aguilar wants to come back, get some money, play another year. Tennessee obviously needs him to come back to improve their chances with a team that replaced defense coordinator, the whole staff, brought in a new strength coach. There's a lot of investment put in place for Tennessee to be a better football team next year.
Yeah, Swain, we and Jayson Swain's our guest, former Vol, host of Josh and Swain. Do you do any shows now called Swain Event at all, like a podcast or anything?
Yes. I still do that twice a week. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
sure do.
So you still do Swain Event.
I don't work as hard as you, but I still do a little bit here and there.
Working hard is one way to put it, or just working a lot is another. But whatever. Yeah, but Josh and Swain, they're up in Knoxville, and then Swain Event as well. So follow them at Swain Event. So So this is relevant here, Swain, because obviously LSU and Tennessee are going to play this year. So what goes on with Joey Aguilar is very relevant for LSU. So I remember you and I spoke, I don't know, man, somewhere around the end of the regular season with all this Aguilar stuff, and it kind of sounded like Tennessee was okay moving on from Joey Aguilar. Now he feels like the best option. So let's assume Aguilar is back. What does Tennessee look like in 2026 with Joey Aguilar? Like, what's a ceiling for that team?
I mean, I think it's a playoff team. I mean, you're talking about a guy that led the league in passing yards in the regular season, had 3,600 passing yards. The only two guys who had more than him the entire season were the two quarterbacks that went to the college football playoff, and Todd Simpson and Trinidad Chambliss. I mean, turnovers was the issue when he was at Appy State. Obviously, there were some plays during the OU game that got him in trouble. They had an interception against Georgia, but man, he was slinging it. I mean, he did a good job with his reads. And this is a guy that came into the program at the end of May.
Yeah.
I mean, so
it was the quarterback swap with UCLA, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, to do that after basically having 8 weeks to learn a new offense, learn his teammates, and be considered one of the leaders. I mean, that's pretty significant. So you can only imagine the momentum that he could build upon next season if he comes back. The receivers come back for the most part, except for one. You got your running back coming back. You got the offensive line for the most part coming back. They spent a lot of energy and resources on defense because they felt really good offensively. So you would have all that with Joey Aguilar coming back. So I think the ceiling is higher. I think the floor is higher with Joey being able to come back if he is granted another year of eligibility.
All right, Swain, flip it. If Aguilar isn't there, what does that do to Tennessee's outlook?
Well, we're talking about a redshirt freshman and George McIntyre, who was a highly rated player coming out of Middle Tennessee, the Nashville area, and then a true freshman, and Faison Brandon, who at one point was the number one player, in the country, according to whatever service you like the most. But at one point, he was number one player. So Tennessee did go out and get Ron Staub, a backup quarterback from Colorado, just to add some depth, just to add a little bit of experience. You didn't want to have just two guys who are all young players making their first start this season. So if Aguilar does not play, it will be a first-time starting young quarterback, more than likely starting for you this year.
How bad are the Vols going to be in baseball?
Oh, it's supposed to be pretty good, man, despite, folks thinking the world stopped because Tony Vitello left, but they're still going to be good.
Tony V's gone. You're toast. Face it, Swain.
Yeah. That's crazy, right? But no, Elander took over as the head man, and he was the hitting coach, was basically the offensive coordinator for Tennessee all these years. So, I mean, the press conferences won't be as entertaining. The in-game interviews probably won't be as entertaining, but I mean, there'll still be a good baseball team. There'll still be a good baseball program. Tennessee just unveiled their $100 million stadium this past weekend. So we're trying up here, man. We're trying. big reason why. Big reason why Tennessee baseball is more popular. So,
bro, Jay Johnson just
LSU baseball. Bro. Don't get me wrong, but hey, we're trying up here, man. We're doing a lot of good things, man.
Jay Johnson ran Tony V right out of the SEC.
Is that what happened? I thought Tony just wanted to be the first coach ever to go to college to the major leagues. I thought that was the reason.
Or
I thought he wanted to make some history.
Or maybe he realized he wasn't going to win no more. Jay just ran him right out of town.
When is Jake Johnson getting any offers from the major leagues? When that's going to happen? I
don't think he wants that, man. No, I'm serious.
Hey, man, there's a lot. College is better to pros in a lot of areas, man. It is.
Bro, you want to play 162? I mean,
nah.
It's a lot, man. I had that conversation with Jay, and he years ago, and he said point blank, I wouldn't. The way he said it was something like, I wouldn't leave here for the New York Yankees. He's got the job he wants. He just needs the resources to keep winning. That's If they do that, he'll be here forever. That's why if I hit the Powerball, Swain, two things will happen. Number one, you'll never hear me on radio again.
Me either. And
number two is I would make sure Jay Johnson is fully funded for whatever he wants in perpetuity. That's how that would go.
And you're gonna give Lane Kiffin an extra $50 million.
No,
right?
because they don't need me. That's the way I always look at it, Swain. They don't need me. He gonna get whatever he wants anyway, what he needs. Jay Johnson, is the one that – because, look, I mean, baseball is going to get the short end of the stick because you got to fund football and basketball and all that sort of stuff. But I want baseball to be awesome. So if I won the Powerball, I know I can make an impact there. That's what I would do.
You know where you can make an impact? Men's basketball. There you go.
But, Swain, here's the problem. They spent almost $9 million on this roster, and they're 2-11. I'm not. That's why they're in a really sticky spot. They did invest in the program this year, and
hey,
tell me you want to run that back.
Nah,
that's the point.
Hey, y'all can hire Mick Cronin though. Mick Cronin, I hear is a good coach.
I don't know, bro.
Entertaining.
I just don't think there's an appetite for him. We'll see what happens around here, but it's an interesting one how it goes. All right, Jayson Swain, host of Josh and Swain and the Swain Event. Follow him at Swain Event. All right, I'll see you soon. Thanks for the time as always.
Hey, man, you the man. Proud of you.
Thanks,
See you
Swain.
later.
We'll see you, bud. That's Jayson Swain, VFL. One of my faves. Great dude. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. Maybe if I hit the Powerball. So this is what I'll do if I hit the Powerball. I'll never do, I'll be gone. I won't do AFR anymore. I will retire from AFR. I probably still every now and again like drop a pod or something like that. I do some stuff because I'd get bored. But daily 3-hour radio, I'd retire. I would make sure Jay Johnson's program is fully funded forever so that he never, ever leaves. And I would buy a giant piece of land. And I would call First South Farm Credit. And then I would build the Moscona compound with giant gates and what's the thing? What am I trying to think of? What's I'm blanking. Like the water or a moat with a moat around it with alligators and piranhas in the moat. And I would not give Musso the gate code. How about that, Muse?
I mean, I'd first have to want to go there in the first place.
You'd want to go there. This place could be awesome. I mean, it would be an awesome compound. Who wouldn't? Paul, would you want to go to my compound?
Sure, that sounds awesome.
See? Who wouldn't want to go to my compound? Paul can have the gate code.
Paul can have the gate.
Muse, not getting the gate code.
I think I'll survive.
I don't know. I mean, you'd survive, but your life wouldn't be nearly as good. But I would call First South Farm Credit to help me buy that land. That's what I would do. FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. Thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit, FirstSouthLand.com. I'm just kidding, Muse. You can have the gate code too. There's going to be people like, why are you so mean to Musso all the time? I'm like, I'm not mean to Musso. It's a show. Shut up. Muse is going to get the gate code. Oh, get out. No, it was a sinking liner. Did he catch that? Oh, my God. What a catch. Looked good off the bat. Didn't that look good off the bat?
Nah, it's a sinking liner.
It looked good off the bat. It just sunk. I mean, off the bat, it looked like it was elevating. It just, boom, nosedive. That was wild. FirstSouthLand.com. Is Jay challenging this?
There's no way he caught
I don't
that
think
ball.
he caught that ball.
He did not catch that ball.
Well, you and I did not get a good look at it because there was not a good camera shot of that. So I don't know if he caught the ball. But if he did catch it, that's a wild catch. Okay, they're ruling that it was not.
I thought I saw it bounce.
It's AFR.
AFR.
You know why we're able to watch this game right now? Because we have high-speed internet from Rev streaming this baseball game right into the studio. REV. I'm on a roll today. REV. That did not bounce. REV. Let'sRev.com. Let'sRev.com. He caught that ball. Where he caught that ball? It didn't bounce. REV. Let'sRev.com. 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 70,000 Louisiana home and business owners trust Rev for their high-speed internet, for their cable, phone, home automation. Remember, all of the equipment comes with your purchase. And by the way, it's not like when the trial period ends, they jack the price on you. The price is the price. It's Rev. 90 years of local service. And when you call, you get a local call center as well. You can trust Rev. I do. REV. Let'sRev.com. Let'sRev.com.
After Further Review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
After review. Out! Oh, Jay's pissed. Oh, no, wait. What are they? Wait. Oh, so are they ruling? So they're not ruling the double play? So welcome back to After Further Review. LSU's playing Nichols in baseball. They're up 9-1. This is a wholly irrelevant thing because LSU's winning 9-1. But Jake Brown hit a liner to right field. The Nichols right fielder made a beautiful diving catch. It was ruled that he did not make the catch on the field. After further review, literally did make the catch. Now, he had doubled up the runner at second. I think they're ruling the runner at second. Save?
That's what it looks like. They only have one out on the board. My guess is because the call on the field was he didn't catch it, there was no double play to review. That has to be why.
That makes sense. But what was interesting is when the umpire came out and he pointed and ruled Brown out on the catch, he held up 2 fingers. So,
2 challenges remaining.
Oh, for challenges. Okay.
2 challenges remaining still.
Okay. I was thinking he was saying there was 2 outs. Okay. Excuse me. So Simpson's at second base. He does not get doubled up. Brown's out. And is this Cerna hitting? Who's at the plate?
Aaron Beatty was in the cleanup hole, so Cerna would make sense.
He's so big. All right, so it's bottom 8. LSU's 3 outs away. They're beating Nichols, and I need to stop watching this game.
Did he just bluff him back to second? Is that what just happened?
He threw it, but the second baseman was in the dirt, almost to the grass, and he threw it. He threw it to the second. Nowhere near second base.
Yeah.
So stupid. Anyway, all right, I gotta stop watching this game. It's after further review. I had intended in this segment, I went long with Swain. I intended in this segment to talk about Alvin Kamara because there's some scuttle out there that maybe Kamara could be a cut candidate for the New Orleans Saints, but I want to give myself some time to do that, so we'll do it in the next segment. What is I do want to talk about? I was reminded of this earlier today because I saw this story where the head coach at Northern Illinois is leaving to become an assistant with the Seattle Seahawks. So his name is Thomas Hammock. For the first time I've ever heard that name. I don't know who Thomas Hammock is, but he was the head coach at Northern Illinois, and he's leaving UNI to join the Seattle Seahawks staff. He's been the head coach at UNI for the last 7 years. That's his alma mater. And he's going to be the running backs coach and a senior offensive analyst. So he's not even leaving for a head coach or coordinator position. He's leaving to be a running backs coach. And I understand I can certainly understand the challenges at a place like Northern Illinois right now. You don't have the financial resources to be able to compete among the best teams in college football. And effectively, your program is a feeder system to major college football. If you recruit and develop a good player, you're then feeding that good player to the higher levels who are going to pay him, and then you lose your really good player. So I'm very much understanding of those challenges. And I think we're seeing more and more of this, college coaches who are both leaving the college game for the NFL or just leaving coaching altogether, like we've seen with guys like Bob Stoops and Urban Meyer, that just don't love this era of college football. But I do think what we're going to start to see is more of that is so gone. Huh? Oh, yeah. It walked it off.
Yeah,
that's it.
game.
Oh, is that Pearson?
All right, John
Pearson. Yep. Babe. Yeah, so LSU, that was a 3-run homer by Pearson. So he walks it off, and LSU beats Nichols. Yay. I do think as we're seeing the college game mirror the NFL, not only is college football basically a minor leagues for the NFL, I think it's going to be that for coaches as well, coaches and front office staff. Because think about how you're building a roster. And I thought of this today because I was having a conversation with Bo Bounds. Bo does radio in Mississippi, does a great job. And I was a guest on Bo's show, and he was asking me about Lane Kiffin and why Kiffin has been so effective in this portal era. And I think a big part of it is when you talk to people about Lane Kiffin, and I'm still learning Lane Kiffin. The way people have described him to me is that he is not very much a relational person. He's more transactional. The way Bo Bounds had asked me, he's like, Kiffin didn't really have a lot of close relationships with his players. And I think you see that a lot in the NFL, too, a lot of times where head coaches maybe don't have, it's not necessary that you have a great, deep personal relationship with your players. You see that way more in college because it is a business. Well, that's what's happening now in college. And you heard Lane Kiffin at his press conference out on signing day say, talking about the expectations of these players, and he used the word salary. He's like, you're getting these salary not because of what you've done in the past, but what you're expected to do this year. It's why you're getting the salary. And he kept using that word. And I think what that illustrates is where college is that it is more transactional and less relational. And so all that to say, like, I know there's all this talk about, from the outside, about Lane Kiffin leaving LSU and would he leave for Alabama or another program. Like, I don't think that's going to be his path. I mentioned this to Roman Harper on radio at the Super Bowl, and he scoffed at the idea. He literally said 0% chance. That was his word. Said there is 0% chance that Lane Kiffin goes to the NFL. I disagree. Now, like, I'm not pushing Lane out the door. I hope he stays here for 20 years and wins a handful of national championships, and that'd be awesome. I'm also a realist to understand, like, his history is what it is for a reason. He doesn't stay places very long. He's very transient and moves and looks for bigger and better. And that, like, you'd have to believe at some point that would happen here as well. Hopefully it happens after he wins a ton, maybe wins a championship or whatever. Or maybe he stays for, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But all that to say, I do think this is something worth watching because I think this is a trend that we're going to start seeing with college coaches who, especially if you struggle to get a hold of contracts at the college level, leaving this for the NFL because the roster turnover makes it that much more complicated to win every year. So in the NFL, you can pay a player and then you got him under contract for multi-years. You don't have that in college right now. Every year it's free agency, as we all know. So I saw that today with the Northern Illinois head coach, Thomas Hammock, leaving his alma mater, where he's the head coach for 7 years, going to accept the running backs coach job with the Seattle Seahawks, because I think it's just what you're going to see more of. See if that's a trend that maybe starts to work its way more into college football. All right, brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Have mold? Think you might? Parish Restoration. They'll come spray their patented non-toxic dry fog. Remember, I said patented non-toxic dry fog. Patented. Nobody else does it. Non-toxic, meaning it's safe for your family, your plants, your pets, and dry fog, so you don't have to worry about it getting your sheetrock wet or your carpet wet or your furniture wet. It's a dry fog. So they come in, they spray, close up all the windows, doors, let it dwell. As soon as the fog dissipates, boom, free, clear, clean, sanitized space. parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Fill out the form on the website to come give you a free estimate, parishrestoration.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Muse will do Tigers and the Pros in about 15 minutes. We are, in 45 minutes, going to talk to Mark Wise, ESPN college basketball analyst. I want to talk to him about the LSU job. Can Matt McMahon win here? And if not, who would want this job? We'll talk about that with Mark Wise coming up here in about 45 minutes from right now. Let me knock out a break. We'll come back. I do want to go a little deeper dive into the Alvin Kamara conversation. Could the Saints actually cut Alvin Kamara? Would that make sense? We'll talk about it next on AFR.
AFR.
Hey, I want to remind you, as we always do, about River City's 1 hour air. And it's 77 degrees in Baton Rouge. I'm literally wearing short sleeves. And 2 weeks ago, we had an ice storm in these parts. But whether it be your AC or your heater, if your HVAC system isn't keeping up one way or another, call River City's 1 hour air. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. Call them at 752-0001, 752-0001. I always love reading 5-star Google reviews. This one came from Derek Joseph, who said Kevin, his tech, was extremely knowledgeable in his trade, took the time to carefully explain everything he found wrong with my system. He was very helpful in offering clear, practical solutions to fix the issues. Kevin was professional, trustworthy, and clearly knows his work. That's why River City's 1 hour air spends so much investing in ongoing education and training for their employees, so you have the best people coming into your home. It's River City's 1 hour air, 752-0001.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Muse, why do we hit the rejoin 4 times? What's going on over there?
I wanted to make sure the correct sponsor played on that one.
Oh, so you hit the wrong one first.
Yeah, so I just quickly, I realized it and quickly brought it down.
The sponsor, of course, is Goodwood, men's sexual wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. Yourgoodwood.com. By the way, remember, they can ship your medicine anywhere. So you don't even have to be in Baton Rouge. Go to yourgoodwood.com. Lowest prices, never any contracts. They can ship your medicine anywhere in the country. So go to yourgoodwood.com. So even if you listen, you're watching on YouTube, you live out of state, trust a great local business. Yourgoodwood.com. Yourgoodwood.com. The NFL league year is about to begin. And you're always going to look at potential cap casualties. And especially when you're like the New Orleans Saints, they'll have a little bit of work to do to get within cap compliance, not nearly as much as they have in recent years. And there was a story floated over at NFL.com where they looked at some of the top cut candidates in the NFL, and they mentioned guys like Kirk Cousins and Aaron Jones and some others. Well, among the list of cut candidates in the NFL over at NFL.com, they list Alvin Kamara. And they note that, of course, as a 30-year-old running back, he's the face of the franchise, certainly offensively, but last year had the least productive season of his career. Career lows in rushing yards, receiving yards, scrimmage touchdowns, yards per touch. It was the worst year of his career. Shocker, a 30-year-old running back falling off a cliff, especially one that's had trouble with staying healthy. And so they mentioned the possibility of Kamara as a cap casualty and them cutting him. I very much appreciate and understand the need for New Orleans to address running back. We've talked about this plenty. I mean, I'm not even going to venture into the draft conversation waters. You know how I feel about taking Love at number 8. That said, the Saints have to address running back. They were very bad there a year ago. Kamara was injured. Devin Neal got hurt. Kendre Miller, obviously injured. You had Audric Estime, who played well, considering expectation late in the season. But they need to address running back. But cutting Alvin Kamara does virtually nothing for you. Like, if you're going to cut Alvin Kamara, it would have to make sense financially why you would move on from this player. And the Saints gave Alvin Kamara a 2-year deal, as we know. And his most recent contract, the 2-year, $24.5 million deal, when you look at the terms of this contract, if New Orleans were to cut Alvin Kamara this season, his cap hit this year is $18.6 million. That's Alvin Kamara's cap hit for 2026, $18.6 million. The dead cap number is $18.2 million. To spell this out, if you're not familiar, if Alvin Kamara is on the team, it will cost New Orleans $18.6 million. If they cut him and he is not on the team, it will cost New Orleans $18.2 million. So cutting Alvin Kamara saves you $400,000, a negligible amount. It does virtually nothing for you to get within cap compliance. So no, you're not cutting Alvin Kamara for the sake of a cap benefit. Like, I don't know who the guy is at NFL.com that put that thing out there. That's just dumb. If Alvin Kamara gets cut, it's because you go to training camp and he is not worth a roster spot. That's it. Like, you draft a running back, you sign Breece Hall or somebody like that. Devin Neal has an incredible training camp estimate, something like that, and you realize all these guys are better than Alvin, and so you cut him so he doesn't take a roster spot. Like, that's the only way Kamara's not on the team in 2026, because there's no financial benefit whatsoever to Alvin Kamara, to cutting Alvin Kamara. Now, we've talked plenty about Alvin over the years, especially as he was looking for an extension. And in 2024, I mean, this was October of 2024, when he talked about like wanting to be in New Orleans.
Wouldn't want to be anywhere else. These fans, this organization, I mean, just my career here, I think it's the icing on the cake to be able to say that, you know, I won't really have to go anywhere, you know, else to play football, just leave it all here. So thankful for the organization to be able to get this done.
So that's when he signed his 2-year deal. And now he played 25, and now it's the final year of his contract going into 2026. And there's no benefit to moving on financially. The question is, to what degree Alvin Kamara can resemble what he was at his peak, at his zenith. And I don't know what that looks like. Listen, we've had this conversation so much about Alvin. He's played a full season once in his career. It was his rookie year. It's the only year of his NFL career where he played every game. Back in 2017, he played in 16 games. He went 16, 15, 14, 15, 13, 15, 13, 14, then this year 11. So all those career lows we talked about were in large part because he played the fewest amount of games. So he had the fewest amount of rushing attempts, fewest amount of receptions, yards per carry was down, everything. But we talked about Alvin even before they gave him the contract extension in 2024 because he was already a declining player. You know, he went from 5 yards a carry in the COVID year to 3.7 to 4.0 to 3.9. And then he did have a little bump in 2024 when they gave him the extension up to 4.2 yards per carry. And he had 950 yards. But you look at his productivity. He went from, 932 yards in the COVID year to 898 to 897 to 694. So he was a declining player. And he had a little bit of a pop in 24, and then the injuries popped up in 2025. And now you're talking about a 30-year-old running back coming off injury again. So I think the way you approach it if you're the Saints organization is you recognize Alvin coming off of injury just has to earn his roster spot this year. You can't count on Kamara to be a bell cow back for you. If he emerges as that this season, great. But you have to go get an option. And that's why we'll talk about guys like Breece Hall or Kenneth Gainwell who could be that. And then you have supplemental guys like Devin Neal or Audric Estime. And if you end up with a Gainwell Kamara or Breece Hall Kamara, then awesome. And hopefully they stay healthy and complement each other and have a great season. And then you look at the future after 26 when Kamara's no longer under contract. But cutting Alvin Kamara for cap reasons is silly to even suggest. The question really is whether or not he can stay healthy and be an impactful running back for the organization, or if his career is over as an effective runner. And we'll see what that looks like when they start getting into OTAs, offseason work, and then toward training camp. But Kamara is going to be a guy that is going to have to go earn his roster spot in 2026 because the finances are awash. He's just going to have to go earn his roster spot. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Brought to you by Arco Power Systems, ARCCO. Arco.com. Man, I love telling you about Arco Power Systems. Amazing, impressive business. It's one of the things I do love about my job is I get to represent all these great businesses and brands and local companies. I get to learn about so many different businesses. Like before we started endorsing Arco, I didn't know what Arco Power Systems was. But when you learn about who they are, what they do, you learn about how massively impressive this business is. I mean, we all know storm comes, power goes out, what happens to businesses, to commercial facilities, industrial facilities, municipalities. We have to have standby generator power like you do for your house. Well, who does that for commercial facilities, industrial facilities, government, schools, hospitals, grocery stores? Well, that's Arco. Like their workers literally, like the National Guard has flown them on Black Hawk helicopters to go get them into devastated sites to get power back on. Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, turnkey, sell, service, install, Generac standby industrial generators. It's energy for your business. It's Arco Power Systems. All over Louisiana, west to San Antonio, east to Mobile, north to Little Rock. Just draw a big circle. If you're anywhere in that footprint and you need industrial Generac generator power, you need Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com, Arco.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. If you missed it, LSU baseball beats Nichols today. They a run rule. It's a walk-off homer by John Pearson to run rule the Colonels. After the top of the hour, I'll give you some thoughts on that game, as I was able to watch the first couple hours before we started. We had it on in studio here, so kind of kept an eye. I'll give you some takeaways. That we will talk to Mark Wise, talk some LSU hoops here in about 30 minutes from right now. Let me knock out our final break. Muse will do Tigers and the Pros. Come back to wrap up hour number 2 next.
AFR.
You know, I tell you every day about Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, our title sponsor, of course, here on Wednesday. And what I want you to know, and one of the things I'm thrilled about being able to talk about them every day, is we have helped remove the stigma around HRT or the lack of awareness of peptide therapy. And we're helping change people's lives, men, women, young, old, whatever it may be. You know, the bottom line is every one of us, there are no exceptions on the face of planet Earth. Every one of us, as we age, our bodies produce less of the hormones that contribute to how we feel. A simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate for hormone replacement therapy. You can get yourself back to healthy levels so you can perform in everything in life at optimal levels. YourGoodWood.com. Lowest prices, never any contracts. YourGoodWood.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit YourGoodWood.com.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Thanks for hanging out with us here. LSU beats Nichols 12-1. A lot of people maybe were listening to, watching at the game. We'll give you a recap, takeaways coming up here in about 10 minutes from now after SportsCenter. Right now, though, Muso has Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the Pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Get you another update from Major League Baseball spring training as some games get underway on Friday. Check in with the Philadelphia Phillies here and Aaron Nola. Of course, Nola's looking for a strong bounce-back season, man. Career worst in ERA. Also dealt with a lot of injuries, and he's going to be counted on with some questions of that Phillies rotation. Today, he spoke with NBC Sports Philadelphia and gave an update on his health and the outlook for this season.
I'm kind of full go right now, and it feels good to feel good again.
Yeah.
I always want to throw, the 7-inning-plus games, and I didn't really get much of them last year. So I'm definitely back to normal again this year, and I want to get back to that level again.
We'd all like to see Aaron Nola get back to that. Was weird a year ago watching him have a 6 ERA and a losing record. Don't expect that again. He's been nothing but consistent throughout his entire life pitching in baseball. Some really cool moments here for a couple former LSU soccer players. First, we'll go. Hold on, let me make sure I get this name right.
Okay.
Ida Hermannsdottir. She's from Iceland. Played 4 years at LSU, and now she's been called up to the Iceland women's national team.
Does Herman have a son? Is Herman's daughter?
I don't
Does Herman have a son?
I don't know. I don't know. She'll play 2 matches for Iceland against Spain and England in the 2027 World Cup qualifiers. And then today, Sydney Cheeseman, another former LSU Tiger, she'll head to Miami for the first United States under-23 women's national team training camp of 2026. Cheesman.
Okay.
Strong? I mean, yeah. What's better, Hermannsdottir or Cheeseman?
I'd like to know if Herman's son plays soccer.
Yeah, maybe does.
And then we'll make a decision if Herman's daughter is better at sport than Herman's son.
Congratulations to those 2 former Tigers as well. Yeah, hold on. There it is. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. If you're thinking of popping the question to Herman's daughter, first you need to ask Herman permission to marry his daughter. And then once Herman grants permission to marry his daughter, then, and you're going to marry Herman's daughter, then you go to Lee Michaels. Because you want to thrill Herman's daughter with a gift in the red box. from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, or whatever your future father-in-law's name might be. Maybe it's Herman. Maybe it's Steve, John, Paul, Ringo. I just got to stop. I got to stop.
You left out George, too, there. You went through the Beatles. You left out George.
What are the Beatles?
They mean, what are they or who are they? The band? The band, the Beatles?
Beatles, like the little insect?
No, like the band, the Beatles.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, okay.
Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, it's after further review. SportsCenter's coming up. Let's get you caught up on national headlines. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Come back, recap LSU Nichols. Got some takeaways. We'll dive into it. That's coming up next here, Hour 3 of AFR.
After further review.
Brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. Want to see 2020? Call 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com, WilliamsonEye.com. You know, the thing that I would love for you to do today is if you are wearing glasses or contacts, and you've heard me talk about the Williamson Eye Center for years and years and years, what I hope you'll do today is just call to set up your consultation. Just do that. First step. I'm not saying go have LASIK today. I'm just saying today, call to set up your consultation. I'll give you the number. You can call them right now. 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020, or you go to WilliamsonEye.com. You know, the consultation is painless. It is free. It is convenient. Do it on your drive. If you don't want to go in, great. Do a Zoom or a call on your drive. WilliamsonEye.com.